10 o'clock, 30th of June, and you're listening to me, Shemiza, where else? On Inspire FM 105.1 FM. We are going out to the wonderful people of Luton surrounding areas this morning, Peterborough Slam Radio and Sheffield's Link FM. Hope you're well, warm and winning wherever you're listening in from. Well, regarding warm, I would rather say I hope you're staying cool. It has been quite warm of late. Do stay in the shade and top up your water. It's always good to do that, right? I hope you've had a great weekend, folks, and having a great start to the week. The show that you're listening into is the Urban Kube, and this is a show that is all about arts and lifestyle, where I get to have fabulous conversations with trailblazing Muslims around projects and opportunities and their journeys, sharing them with you guys, getting you inspired and motivated. Now, today's show is super special. I've got two absolutely wonderful guests this morning, and the theme of the show is design and disability, and we're going to be exploring what that actually means. And before I begin, I wanted to start off by saying not all superheroes wear capes. Some ride bicycles. In particular, the Palestinian paracycling team. Now, they are being featured in a design and disability exhibition at the Victoria Albert Museum in Kensington in London. And this design and disability exhibition showcases three powerful items from the Gaza Sunbirds. And it represents resilience, resourcefulness, and determination. Now, these three items belonging to the squad of the Gazan amputee athletes are on display as part of the Design and Disability exhibition at the world's largest museum of design and applied and decorative arts. And this milestone comes after gaining global notoriety for the team's recent courageous aid missions in the Strip and history-making sporting achievements. To tell us more about the Gaza Sunbirds, I am joined this morning by no other than Karim Ali, and he's the co-founder and international coordinator of the Gaza Sunbirds, and it's an absolute honor to have him joining us today on Inspire FM. Now, he is on StreamYard, so you can actually see him on Facebook. I wonder if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Karim?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going? Thank you so much.
Wonderful. It's an absolute pleasure to have you join us this morning. And for our listeners, folks, if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask Karim, the co-founder and international coordinator of Gaza Sunbirds, please feel free to do so on 07779 481822. You can WhatsApp us, you can leave messages on our Facebook page, and I'm sure he'd be delighted to hear words of encouragement. Once again, Karim, absolute pleasure to have you joining us on Inspire FM, the Urban Kube show. How are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. It's a Monday, already got started with work, and very excited to be on. Thank you for having me.
Very welcome. I wanted to say an absolute congratulations in getting featured in the Design and Disability Showcase at Victoria Albert Museum. Tell us a little bit more about what this showcase, this exhibition represents for you, and what is it that we can expect?
Yeah, of course. The Gaza Sunbirds is a sports team based in the Gaza Strip, or a paracycling team in specific. And that means that we're made up of a group of athletes that have disabilities. Some of those disabilities, or I should rather say most of those disabilities, are as a result of regressions from the occupation. And so for us, disability is more than just about this art exhibition. It's about everything to do with this team. It's about why it exists, and the group of people that we also hope to empower. When I was approached by the Victoria and Albert Museum more than a year and a half ago about this disability and design exhibit, I almost couldn't believe my eyes, because they were having this global design and disability exhibition, and they wanted to include Palestine, which I know seems like a small thing, and it should be an expectation, it should be the bare minimum. But I was still surprised and very positively taken aback by the fact that they wanted to include us as part of this exhibition. And for us, it meant not only solidifying the amazing work of the team and the inspiring work that they've done, but also cementing the experiences of all Palestinians with disabilities as part of this exhibition, and the massive lengths that they have to go through, not just to be able to live a normal life, but to be able to survive on a day-to-day level, living in an active war zone, genocide.
Now, the exhibition is already opened. What's the reception been like for the exhibition, and how does it make you feel when you see people seeing these pieces? And what are those pieces that are being exhibited?
Of course, I think for starters, the whole community is very excited that this exhibition is taking place. I think for us, especially at this time of erasure, when the IDF has wiped out more than 90% of all buildings in Gaza and is slowly killing more and more people, to us, fear of erasure and resisting erasure is one of the biggest things that we can do. So I think our entire community was very positively taken aback by the fact that such a prestigious institution has decided to display our work front and center in such a massive and inclusive exhibition. And I mean, for us, and I think for everybody seeing it, there's a sense of bewilderment. Like, I think we still haven't fully processed how big of a deal it is, particularly for Ala, whose items are actually being displayed there. So it's like the bike that he rode, it's his jersey. Yeah, that's all. It's all amazing for everybody, I think, to be able to celebrate those achievements as well of the team.
Tell us about Allah, because he's very significant part of the Gaza Sunbirds and his journey in coming over and being part of the Paralympic team. So how did that all come about?
Of course, yeah. So Ala and I met a long time ago now. It was around 5 years ago. I was 19 and he was 21 years old. And I translated his first documentary from Arabic to English. It was done by Flavia Capellini. And after that, I just fell in love with Ala's story and I got in touch. And in his documentary, he was constantly saying he has a dream to start a team in Gaza. And I thought, hey, that sounds like something that we could work on together. So, yeah, I mean, Ala was Palestine's cycling champion. And around 2018, he'd been cycling for 6 years, but he was never allowed to leave Palestine to compete internationally. And in 2018, he finally had the chance to go and represent Palestine in the Asian Games in Jakarta. But just 2 months before his competition, he went to a peaceful demonstration on the border, and it's called the Great March of Return. It was a series of demonstrations happening in Gaza between 2018 and 2019. Every single week on Friday, tens of thousands of people would go and peacefully demonstrate on the border. And every week for a whole year, the Israeli occupation would stand there and target people with sniper rifles inside of their legs. And so Ala, on his way to training, actually, on his first day, on the first day of the march, he went with his bicycle and his jersey, and he was shot from the 300 meters away from the fence by an explosive Israeli bullet, and it landed in his leg and it exploded. And Ala, on that day, he became one of 5,200 people that were injured, but unfortunately also one of 125 people that had to have their legs amputated. And at the time, he called it the amputation of his dream. And so when I met Ala, it was basically right after his amputation. And miraculously, or even just because of his sheer will, Ala, within 1 month, he got back on the bicycle. He became Palestine's first paracyclist. And that's where this dream of starting a paracycling team started. There was no paracycling in Palestine before him. And he was just the right person with the right determination to say, I'm not going to let the occupation take this from me as well. I'm going to continue to practice my sport despite everything life has thrown my way. And
What
so, yeah, it's an incredible story of resistance.
it sure is, and resourcefulness as well, because Allah didn't even have a jersey, did he, to compete in the challenge? So how did that all come about?
Yeah, for sure. So I think for context, the Sunbirds have been around and training in Gaza since 2021, like boots on the ground. And we've had previous race jerseys, but this time leaving Gaza, well, actually not this time. This was our first time ever leaving Gaza. It was the first time Ala was able to leave and compete because after his leg was amputated, he unfortunately wasn't able to go to Jakarta. And so Ala ended up stuck inside Gaza until he turned 26 and not, 27. And not only that, but he had to leave Gaza under the conditions of an active genocide happening over there. And so There were like when he left Gaza, it was in February of 2024, and the atrocities in Gaza had already been going on for more than 5 months, 6 months. At that time, everything we knew in Gaza was already torn apart and destroyed. And he left Gaza with only Rafah still intact, which just a month after leaving, that was also absolutely bulldozed by the occupation. And the conditions of us leaving Gaza this time, or for the first time, were super complicated. It involved literally escaping from an active war zone uh, across Egypt to eventually go and apply to visas to compete. And when we made the decision to leave, it wasn't like he could have applied for a visa before or anything like that. And so uh, we were taking a chance on life to the maximum. Like our faith had to be really, really high for Ala to do something like this. He left his family behind, not just him, but another 5 people that we evacuated with the dream of going to represent Palestine. And so when we left Gaza, I mean, all Ala brought out with him was the bike. That was it. He had the bike and a small handbag with like a couple of pairs of underwear in it and his prosthetic leg. Um, there, like the situation in Gaza was already quite debilitated, and so yeah, we miraculously we get the visas to go to Belgium, and we get them 3 days before the competition is going to start. And we're obviously a small team. We've already invested a lot trying to get everyone out from Gaza. And like we didn't have the ability to take a risk to get the jerseys. We didn't know how long we'd be there for, what was happening. Everything was always from minute to minute. And so yeah, we eventually left Egypt on the 27th of April of 2024 and arrived in Belgium with no bicycles, with no helmets, with no shoes, with no with no jerseys even to go and to compete. And yeah, it's just part of the rush of what it took
Wow.
to get it to the front line. So that jersey that's actually in the Victoria and Albert Museum, that jersey was made the evening before our race, and we actually got it just 12 hours before the race. We finally had the jersey to be able to compete, and it was a secondhand jersey as well. So we didn't have the chance to get like a plain jersey and make changes to it, and we got a ready printed on jersey. We covered it with white vinyl in the minimal locations as possible because it disrupts breathability of the fabric, and then we did a print over it, and yeah, it was a last second touchdown type thing with that.
How remarkable. And that jersey is now being featured at the
Yeah.
Victoria and Albert Museum. And it's just what a story that jersey has, and it's marking history. And there's something quite particular about that jersey because there is a letter that has been erased on the jersey. Tell us a little bit about that. Why is one of the letters in the word Palestine erased?
Yeah, for sure. So this actually wasn't on purpose at all. It wasn't erased. Because the jersey was printed in this way, because it had to have like vinyl over vinyl at some points to be able to cover the original design on the jersey, it just meant that it wasn't so strong. And naturally, after a couple of competitions, there was wear and tear on it, and the S dropped. And actually, we continued to compete in Kazakhstan, and we continued to compete with the S off the jersey, and nobody realized. And the reason for that is because we had a similar challenging experience getting to Kazakhstan for the races, where our bags and equipment arrived 7 hours before the race started, and so we didn't even have the chance to look at the jersey. We were on the race course the next day, and we just didn't realize the S had fallen off. And since it is the original jersey and there's no other jersey like it, this is the one that we submitted to the museum. But I have told them that if it causes them problems, I'm happy to come in with a Sharpie and draw the S on the face.
But
Um,
I love the metaphor around that, and I just thought, there's a story, isn't there? There's a story in everything, and it gives something else to talk to people about. So it's not just the jersey. What else is also featured? We've got the bicycle, the original bicycle that Allah
yes,
rode, and what else?
yeah. So we have the jersey, the Palatine jersey, missing the S. We have Ala's bike from Gaza, the Trek, which has been, I mean, with the team for a very, very long time. And it's a very fast bike. It was a tough one to give up to put on the museum walls. And the last thing was a leg support. So when you have amputation, you can't pedal naturally, right? So one leg has to be clipped into the pedal, and the other leg, basically, if you don't have a knee, ends up just uh, dropping to the side of the bike, and it's really uncomfortable. It can cause a lot of problems for the rider. So the last thing which we added was a custom built bike adaptation for basically upper limb for above the knee amputations on the leg. And this was a really big deal for the team, actually, and a very large symbol for making it technologically speaking, because in Gaza we always had limited resources. Each of our bikes took 1.5 months to find. This is before October 7th, of course. We had no helmets, no shoes, no cleats, no water bottles, no water bottle cages for the first year of the team existing, because that stuff wasn't readily available. And so even when we left Gaza and we went to the first competitions, we were on bikes that cost maybe $1,500, $1,800, which maybe sounds like a lot, but some of the professional bikes can cost up to $40,000, $50,000. And so we were like in a Camry competing against a Lamborghini or a Bugatti, basically. And I remember arriving to the first race and Ala being like, damn, like one spin from their wheels is like six spin from our wheels. It's like there's no comparison. Um, and so after we got out and we started touring, we built all these relationships with different places, a lot of new bike manufacturers, custom workshops, and eventually we got together and we worked on this little piece of innovation to be able to facilitate Ala on the bike. And actually, like the rest, the footrest or the leg rest that we have is actually a repurposed armrest that normally cyclists would use inside the time trial, strapped to a custom built aluminium attachment, basically to attach it onto the bike post. And for us, when this eventually came out, it was massive. It was like, not only could we improve the health of our riders on the bikes, but it was just proof that we were able to build something for ourselves and to use it. And that is just like, yeah, something we would have never imagined doing 5 years ago.
Remarkable, isn't it? The way testing human beings and how far they can and go and what they can actually innovate from limited resources is just a credit to you all. And the fact that it's been exhibited at the Design and Disability exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum is just mind-boggling. And when I saw this, I was just so excited, and it's just an absolute pleasure to be speaking to you and just finding out the journey behind this. Now, this exhibition is open. Could you tell us a little bit more about the exhibition, where it's located, how people can get to it? Is it a free exhibition? And what do you hope you will achieve from people seeing this exhibition?
Of course. So the exhibition is at the Victoria and Albert Museum, and the location is in Cromwell Road in London. I believe that they have the loan of our items for 2 years, but I think it's guaranteed to be in the museum until around the same time next year. And after that, depending on the success of the exhibition, these items may actually go and tour. But you never know. So that's a reason for you to go and visit, for starters, because the better this exhibition does, the more parts of the world that potentially these items can go to. And yeah, unfortunately, it's not a free exhibition for everybody. I think the cost starts at around £10, but please don't quote me on this, because I was on the guest list when I arrived because I contributed the items.
Oh, you were lucky. You got a free ticket.
Basically, yeah. But yeah, I can't obviously, I'm not exactly sure what the price of the tickets are, but I think everyone should go down and check it out if they have a chance. And what we hope to achieve through it, for starters, is centering ourselves within a larger disability movement. We are not the first people who have been campaigning for disability rights, and we're not the last people that are going to be campaigning for disability rights. We're one group on this journey. And the next thing as well is like centralizing Palestinian disabilities within the larger picture of disability rights as well. Because as of today, there is probably more than 80,000 Palestinians that are going to have some form of disability as a result of the genocide that's been ongoing for more than 2 years now. And so at some point, these people are going to need to reintegrate into society. They're going to need to build new lives. They're going to need to get prosthesis, get adaptive equipment, find ways to regain their independence after unfortunately falling victim to this onslaught. And so yeah, for us, I think it's really important that the world recognizes like not just the importance of Palestine and the larger context of resistance against the military industrial complex or against occupation or apartheid or colonization, but no, also to look at it through the lens of disabilities, through the lens of mobility justice, and realizing that, like with everything, none of us are free until we are all free. And as having one of the largest populations per capita of people with disabilities, we hope that this helps build empathy around the world through this cause as well with us.
Indeed, some words of wisdom and words of experience, and there is definitely a massive need to put the spotlight on disability, and also you've basically been able to show us that being disabled does not restrict. Being disabled, you can compete in athletics, so forth, and make a difference, and a huge difference that the Gaza Sunbirds are making, not just in London through this exhibition, but globally. And they are globally recognised as a team and celebrated and respected. Now, what is the Gaza Sunbirds wanting to do now, and what message would the Gaza Sunbirds like to give to all our listeners listening in?
Of course. So the Gaza Sunbirds, what we want to do is we want to survive this ongoing genocide that we're being forced to live through. I think for us, the team's families, our athletes, more than 20 athletes with disabilities, our staff, our wider community, our friends, they're all been starved now for more than 80, 90 days, 97 days. I think that now is the amount of days we've reached where not a single drop of food has been allowed to enter the Gaza Strip outside of what is being proven to be not an aid company, but a trap for people to want to come and get food from the Israelis and then be shot at, basically. And so our first hope is, for this war to end, for there to be a permanent ceasefire, for the genocide to end, for our team to be able to start rebuilding their houses, for us to start rebuilding our communities. We have remained working across this entire genocide. Our team in Gaza is still very active. For the last 2 years, they've been nonstop distributing food, food, other essentials as well, medical supplies, tents, doing psychosocial activities with children, doing hot meals. We've spent something like $480,000 on the ground in Gaza up to this point, just to keep the team going and to keep our communities around us going as well. Going forward, we're going to continue with this work, and we're waiting for the time for Gaza to calm down, because we want to start rebuilding, and we want to build an academy in Gaza for people with disabilities, to reclaim their lives after this genocide ends. And in the meanwhile, on the international stage, we're also pushing forward with full steam. The team is growing. When the ceasefire collapsed in February, we decided that we are not going to stop. We're not going to wait to continue our cycling efforts. There's been more than 80,000 people evacuated from Gaza, many of who have disabilities, many who are living in really terrible conditions now, all around the world, including Egypt, Belgium, Italy. And these people, they deserve a second chance now. They deserve a chance to reclaim their lives. And it's really important to also do our intervention now at this early stage, to help them regain their mobility, to help them reconnect with their bodies. And so the team's been expanding internationally. We are working now in Egypt. We're also working in Belgium. We have a small team growing in Belgium of about 2 athletes. We have around 5 athletes registered with the team in Belgium. The guys are continuing to train. We have the Cycling World Championships coming up late in August this year. We're going to do it again, officially qualified for that. And so our professional athletes are training for that. We're growing the team to have more professional athletes for the future. We're still aiming for LA in 2028, and we're hoping to get some women out to competitions as well. So we're trying to expand the team to have women with disabilities as well joining. So
Sounds
a lot in the a
a,
lot
a
is going on.
lot. And your role, tell everybody your role, Karim. You have have quite a significant role with the Gaza Sunbirds. And how can we connect with the Gaza Sunbirds? Do you have any social media handles?
Of course, yeah, I appreciate you. So I'm the co-founder of the Gaza Sunbirds. I'm also the international coordinator. So I I live on the sports side. I help with the bigger picture things of like bringing in the athletes, organizing. I also do stuff like coaching and the smaller things with the guys. And then on the aid side and the administrative side, I mean, I'm just there doing what a co-founder needs to do. Really, without the team, none of this would be possible. Not just the athletes, not just our international staff, but our massive team of volunteers all around the world. We're made up of more than 60 volunteers that work together to make this project possible. Also, our team of frontline staff on the ground of Gaza who put their lives on the line every single day to go out and to distribute food. Yeah, I'm just one part of this like larger cog.
Amazing.
And
Give
I
us.
mean,
We
everyone
are.
can help us. Yeah, if anyone wants to help us, we've got our social medias on Instagram. They can follow the Gaza Sunbirds on TikTok, on Facebook.
Thank
Check
you
out our
so
podcast
much.
as well.
Thank you, Karim. It's the end of the show. Absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much.
After the
Take
break.
care.
Continue listening to Inspire FM. Inspire FM.
Inspire 105.1 FM.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Omar Regan.
This is Brother Bona Mohammed.
This is Nabil Abdul Rashid.
This is Naeem Raza.
My name is Sheikh Hafs Al-Ghazi.
My name is Julie Siddiqui.
This is Moses the Comic.
This is your brother Raheem Jung.
This is Preacher Maz.
This is Rizwan Hussein.
This is Baba Ali.
This is Fatih Safaragich.
This is Naveed Aziz, and you are listening to the best radio station in Luton, Inspire FM.
Have you heard the exciting news?
What exciting news is that?
To celebrate their 60th anniversary, Ambala Sweets are launching their Dubai Chocolate Barfi from Saturday 24th of May.
So we can visit the Ambala Sweets store at 211 Dunstable Road in Luton and now buy Dubai Chocolate Barfi.
Yes, it'll be available from Saturday 24th of May and so much more.
That's fantastic. Don't miss out. Dubai Chocolate Barfi and many more tasty sweet treats at Ambala, Dunstable Road in Luton and all Ambala stores.
We turn to Allah, and Allah at times makes every plan that we have fail because we haven't added Him into the equation.
AK Windows South Limited, manufacturers and installers of high-quality UPVC windows and doors, bifold doors, composite doors, conservatories, porches, skypods, fascias, guttering, and much, much more. We specialize in double glazing and triple glazing using the best German profile. If you want quality at affordable prices, AK Windows is the place to go. If your house needs a facelift, you know who to trust. For a free quote, call AK Windows today on 01582 483 777 or visit us at Unit 10E, Britannia Estate, Leagrave Road, Luton.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Zareen from Gift Wellness, the founder of Gift Wellness and the chair of the Halima Trust. Keep listening to Inspire FM.
How many times have you needed urgent medical supplies but don't know where to go? At Harris Pharmacy, we take pride in delivering a high-level healthcare to our community. This is why we have services such as private one-to-one consultation, free prescription ordering from GP and delivery to your home, mobility aids such as providing wheelchairs and many other items for everyday use. Call us today on free phone 0800 458 2850 to discuss your medical needs. We are open from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday to Friday and 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Harris Pharmacy, 165 A/B, Dunstable Road, Luton.
If you're 9 to 16 years old, this exciting news is for you. CYCD have a summer holiday scheme. Free, fun. We're talking sports, arts, gaming, trips, and more. That's bigger and better. If you're on free school meals, it's free. Spaces are filling up fast, so sign up now and make this the best holiday yet. Visit us at www.cycd.org.uk for more info.
इत्दाल, हुर्रियत और हक की आवाज़ हमेशा गालिब रही है और यही आवाज़ हमेशा गालिब रहेगी। आइए और सुनिए हक की आवाज़। मैं हूं इमाम हाफिज इजाज़ अमन, सुनाऊंगा आपको प्रोग्राम आवाज़ाए हक में हक की आवाज़ हर सोमवार 11 बजे से 12 बजे तक, ओनली ऑन इंस्पायर FM 105.1।
From the studios of Inspire FM, the time is now 10:30.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. It is 10:30, 30th of June, and you're listening to me, Shemiza. Where else? On Inspire FM, of course. It's the Urban Kube show. I need to pronounce that correctly. The Urban Kube show is what you're listening into, and this show is all about creative conversations with extraordinary, trailblazing individuals. And on today's show, I'm really delighted to be joined by another absolutely wonderful guest who is making his marks not just through the comedy circuit, but also through activism as well. And he's organising an event very local to us, actually in Wardown Park. It's a picnic with a difference because it's a walk. It's a children's walk, a peaceful walk with children in aid of Gaza, and it's helping fundraise for a charity called Forgotten Women. And the gentleman behind that is no other than comedian extraordinaire, stand-up comedian, host and activist Salman Malik. Now, Salman Malik is a notable comedian across the comedy circuit, and he's actually organised a few events in Luton that you need to keep your eye out for as well. I'm waiting for him to join the StreamYard link. He is joining me today to have a conversation about this wonderful event that he's doing. Now, these walks are across the country, and they are for children and families, and there's a picnic at the end of the walk, and it's a fundraising initiative as well. So we're just waiting for Salman to join us very, very shortly. He's going to be on in about a minute, but I'm just going to reflect back on my previous guests. Now, I was joined by no other than Karim Ali, and he's the co-founder and international coordinator of Gaza Sunbirds. It was such an extraordinary interview with him, and he was talking to us with such compassion, mashallah, about the work he's doing with Gaza Sunbirds, and it's been extraordinary. Do listen back to that interview. If you've missed it, you can listen back to any of the interviews that we do on the Facebook Live, and do follow them on their social media, which is Gaza Sunbirds. Now, on the show, on the second half, I am joined by no other than Salman Malik, who is a stand-up comedian, host, and activist. And he is somebody who you will recognise. He is a notable figure on the comedy circuit, and he's actually. Can I share a secret with you guys? He actually taught me how to pronounce Lutonian properly as well in an event that I had the pleasure of joining him on. So yeah, he knows more about Luton than I do. Salman, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me. Wow, your energy in the morning. How do you do this? I almost forgot about this. I just quickly had my breakfast. I probably dropped some anda on my shirt, but yeah, I think we're good. So yeah,
it's blended nicely into the t-shirt, so which is wonderful. Now you're radiating the screen. You have such a vibrant personality and energy, and we are so delighted that you are actually bringing this energy for a wonderful cause all the way to Luton. Tell us more, Salman.
That's right. Yeah, so we're bringing this children's walk, which we've done in Birmingham, London, and Manchester before. So the idea of this walk is to bring families together. So it's a walk with a picnic. It's at Wardown Park. That's the only park I know in Luton. It's for a great cause, but it's also educating children, and that's like one morning where your kids don't have to be on their phones and tablets. They can come out to the park, get fit, including the uncles and aunties and mummies and daddies, and just walk for a good cause.
Fantastic. Salman, tell us, why did you decide to do this walk, and who is it for?
So it's for a women's charity called Forgotten Women. It's one of the few charities who are on ground in Palestine doing some amazing work. And the idea is to fundraise. So I'm associated with them for the last couple of years. We do comedy events. We've done charity walks, treks, and stuff. But I just felt that we don't get to do much for the kids and children. A lot of these events generally are for adults. So this is just a fun way of involving kids. We'll give them medals, certificates, make it a bit competitive. A bit of comedy by me as well. Depends how hot it is and how hungry and how hangry I am. But it's a bit of fun, so we've done 4 of these already. Luton is a town which is very close to my heart since last year. I've started coming to your town every couple of months. So I thought, why not? Luton would be a great place to bring this walk to.
You know what, we're humbled, and it's an absolute pleasure having you do this, seeing you not just indoors but outdoors, getting involved with the community, because mashallah, you've done so much across the years, and you've had a really notable career, and it's always a pleasure that you remember us, little old Luton. Tell us, what do you really think about Luton?
Sorry, I can't. No, I can't. No, I think Luton is good. I think me personally, I mean, obviously, as I'm a comedian first, as people know, so I really wanted to do shows in Luton because there's a big Muslim and Asian community in Luton. So I thought they would really resonate with my kind of humor and events. And over the past, I've done events for other people in Luton, and they've always been well received. So we've got some amazing community from all backgrounds, which they come and support. So recently, I've been connected to the Luton Library Theatre, and I end up doing lots of events. In fact, my next comedy show at the Library Theatre is on the 20th of September, and that's a Saturday.
Fantastic. And who are the headline acts for this comedy show?
Me, of course. No, so the show is called Arabs and Asian Stand-Up Comedy Show. We have a popular comedian called Sandeep Bhardwaj. He's an Indian comedian from Luxembourg, and he's quite popular. He's quite famous on TikTok and Instagram these days because of his advocacy, for what he talks about. Then we have Fataya Saleh. We have Farhan Solo. So we got a good mix of comedians from India, Pakistan, Somalia, so it's just a good mix basically.
Sounds super exciting. So folks, it's 20th of September. You can go to Luton Library, check out all the details there, and it's been organised by our very own brother Salman. And something a little bit closer is a walk. Now, it's always good to get the families out and get the children's out, but this is a walk for a good cause. And we're going to have lots of laughter as well, because brother Salman is going to be leading this walk. Is there a point where you're going to stop?
Hot it is. If it's as hot as today, then don't expect any laughter. I'm just going to wear a hat and get on with it,
Just get on with it. How long is the walk going to be for? Is there like a length for the walk?
So, with me, because I'm also a bit lazy, I said the walk is according to the time, 40, 45 minutes. All the parents are like, yeah, how long?
Are we going
3 miles? I said,
are we going on Pakistani?
That's a marathon.
Pakistani timing?
Nobody's fit enough in Luton. Sorry, no, I'm joking. To a marathon. So it's about 40, 45 minutes. Wherever we get tired, we stop. It's like a caravan. We stop. And then it's followed by a picnic. So yeah, one request, anybody listening or watching, if you are coming down, then I will really appreciate if you can bring me some samosas. So that'd be nice.
Indeed. Gosh, samosas. We definitely need samosas for Salman. And he's definitely following this walk on Pakistani timing, it seems.
No.
And
So we'll start on time. We'll hopefully start on time. But the good thing is, everybody will gather around. What I've done recently, I've done a very good purchase. I've got one of those, the megaphones, so I don't have to shout my lungs out. So inshallah, people will be able to hear me easily.
It warms my heart with what you're doing, because it is really notable. You're taking your time out to do something quite significant, bringing families together, bringing children together, having a picnic in our lovely Luton, but also for a good cause. And that's what we need to remind everybody. There's a good cause behind this. And tell us a little bit more about the reasoning behind this lovely picnic and peaceful walk that you're doing.
It's called Children's Walk. It's for Children's Walk for Gaza. So obviously, anybody is welcome to join the walk. But there is, we can also help you create a fundraising page. So kids get involved, they get competitive. So it's basically supporting the kids in Palestine, who are not as, privileged, or, they're not able to enjoy things as we do here in the West. So just to remember them, and to think about them, and also fundraise, so we've had kids from, and again, these walks are attended by all faiths and backgrounds. It's not a Muslim event or a Muslim thing. And it's just so nice when everybody gets together and, have their little picnic, or, remember the people of Palestine or people in need, So I guess these walks can be done for anybody, across the world who needs us. So I really tend to enjoy it, and, alhamdulillah, it's been amazing.
It sure is going to be. And you've had quite a bit of experience because you've done these walks nationally. Now, how can people register? When is the date? Is there a registration? Is there a contact number?
So it's on Forgotten Women's Eventbrite page. I think if they Google it, Children's Walk for Palestine in Luton, they should be able to find it. It's free registration. There's a free registration for parents and children. So once you register, somebody will get in touch. And this is on the Saturday, 12th of July, a night before I'm performing in Birmingham. So I'm going from Croydon to Birmingham, and in the morning I'm coming back, dropping back in Luton. That's why the samosa is very important.
Samosa, just samosa? I like that. Is that a bit of a triangle?
Yeah, it is like, Croydon to Birmingham, Luton, then back to Croydon, Yeah.
Indeed. Folks, you've heard it from Salman. He is requesting a platter of food.
Shall I do this in Punjabi as well? Because a lot of Punjabi people.
Of course, please do.
Baji, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਐਵੇਂ ਟੈਬਲੇਟਾਂ, ਫੋਨ, ਮੋਬਾਈਲ ਫੋਨ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਮਾਰਟਫੋਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਬਸ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰਕੇ 12 ਤਰੀਕ ਨੂੰ ਸਵੇਰੇ 11 ਵਜੇ ਵਾਰ ਡਾਊਨ ਪਾਰਕ ਆਣਾ ਹੈ। ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾ ਬੜਾ ਮਜ਼ੇਦਾਰ ਪਿਕਨਿਕ ਕਰੋ, ਆਲੂ ਗੋਭੀ, ਸਮੋਸੇ, ਬਿਰਿਆਨੀ, ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਆਏਗਾ ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ। ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਖਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਸ਼ਮੀਰੀ ਦੋਸਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ, ਇੰਡੀਅਨ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਨੇ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਓ ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ। ਬੜੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਕਾਜ਼ ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। Sorry, okay.
Beautifully put. And that's exactly what you need to do, people. Listen to Brother Salman. He's joined us this morning, mashallah. We rushed his breakfast. And he's given us the time this morning, and an absolute delight it is to have him. He is a notable comedian across the comedy circuit. And you know what? And it's such... तारीफ तो करनी चाहिए ना.
Probably reading it from ChatGPT. He's a notable comedian, born in 1985.
Do you know what? I was about to do that, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to freestyle it and do it, from the soul, from the spirit. But I have to say, Salman, I have followed your journey for a number of years, and and this just really is a beautiful element of all the work that you've done. And it hasn't been an easy journey for you. You have really worked hard to get where you are. If there's anybody listening in and wants to kind of become a comedian, what are the tips that you're going to give? And another question I wanted to kind of pose to you, in this time, this difficult time that we're living in the world, how do you maintain such a positive demeanor?
So if anybody wants to be a comedian, answering your first question, I guess these days you're lucky, you've got so many social media platforms, be it Instagram, TikTok. We never had that, growing up. So, if you're confident enough and you think what you go out there, just, put it out there. I don't have to tell you, kids these days are smart enough to know what to do. I think positivity comes from inside you, your family, you think, you see your lifestyle, I live in London, we like to complain a lot. We complain about the weather, we complain about the traffic, we complain about, getting parking tickets and all of that. But then we see people in other countries who are really struggling for really basic things like clean water, flour, khana pina, so they're really struggling. So you think, we should have that sort of positivity that, we've been blessed and we've been tested in a very positive way by God. So I think that's where the positivity comes from. And then if we can use our platform, be it on social media or the voice or the talent you've been given in a positive way to transform and help to somebody else's life, so that's what I believe in.
Indeed, and may Allah add more barakah in the work that you're doing, because it's wonderful listening to you speak, and it's also wonderful seeing how you're bringing that sunshine in the world of activism. Now, the question I have, Salman, is Forgotten Women. Why this charity? It is a female-led charity, and as a male, what drew you to this charity to support them?
So initially, I used to perform at some of their events, and so I really resonate because this charity believes in women to women aid. Because as you know, in a lot of these countries, when you see aid trucks and all of that, you always see men, and women often cannot, overpower them and go and get the aid. So they often there's a lot of neglect there. So what Forgotten Women believes in is women to women aid. So our women volunteers on ground, be it in Palestine, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in Afghanistan, they will go out to these women and reach them and try and help them directly, and also maintaining their dignity. So that really resonated well with me, and so through them I'm able to organize events. Yes, I'm a guy, obviously, it's obviously a women's charity, but men do work there as well. And so through them I'm able to bring more women focused events. We do these O2 climbs in London, which are mainly attended by women. We do a comedy show called Funny Muslim Ladies, which inshallah I might want to bring to Luton one day. So it's all female Muslim comedy lineup. So I feel such charity should be out there as more. We mainly focus on women and children because there's definitely this gap which we need to fill.
Indeed, and it sounds absolutely wonderful. Do they have any social media handles, or
Yeah,
could you share your?
Absolutely, they got Forgotten Women. I'm not really on. Yeah, they put a couple of my page posts on there, but Forgotten Women, and they are, mashallah, really active on TikTok and on Instagram. And again, this charity is not just an Islamic charity. They support and they work with everybody, and then they are in Africa, in Asia, and working in Palestine as well right now. Me myself, quickly, I did my first charity deployment back in March, a couple of months ago. I went to Syria. Which was also like a life-changing experience for me, where I was able to go in person and give aid to a country who was war-torn for over 12 years. So it's quite a spiritual and interesting experience for me personally.
Can you maybe share in your own words, for people who might want to kind of maybe align themselves with charity? I mean, as Muslims, charity is a pillar of our faith, but if there's anybody who wants to do more than just donate, what can they do?
There are different things you can do. If you are somebody who are well connected in the community, you can always organize an event. So a charity like ours can help and support you, because what is sometimes you have a very good connection, but you don't know how to market or how to put this out there. So if you have an idea, you want to organize a dinner or a tea party with your girlies, or samosa party with your uncles, I don't know, anything, you can get in touch and we can put it together. Somebody from the charity can come and give an inspiration talk. Apart from that, we do have recently starting these deployment programs where, if you like for example, I went to Syria. So if you want to go to deployment to Pakistan and Afghanistan, we just had a recent deployment, or to countries like Syria, even Bangladesh, you guys can get in touch. So most of these deployments are usually sister only. So it's a very safe and comfortable environment.
Sounds really exciting and really inspiring as well. Folks, the time is 10:48 and you are listening to the Urban Kube show, and I'm joined by the absolutely wonderful Brother Salman Malik, who is a notable comedian. You'll recognize the voice if you're not watching the Facebook Live, and he is an activist and a host, and he's also leading an exciting walk at
12th of July.
12th of July. It's a children's peace walk. It's a picnic as well, a fundraising for Gaza, and it's an opportunity to kind of bring your family out, have a wonderful day out, and also do something really good as in fundraise. And it's hosted by no other than Salman, who will be there, and he's gracing Wardown Park, but he did say you've got to bring a samosa or two. He's not going to come out unless you bring samosas for him. So is there a particular filling that you go for?
I like chicken ones, but vegetarian ones, the aloo matar ones, they're also nice. So when you're hungry, then you can't, like, anything would do.
Anything will do. You know, all samosas matter, right?
Yeah, that's it. Just good texture and crisp, then that's okay.
Yeah. Fabulous. So do bring those along. Now, what else are you doing at the moment? Salman? Sounds like you're very, very busy.
Yeah, thank you. Alhamdulillah, I have been. So during the summer, I try to avoid many shows. Last night, I had a very interesting show. Funny, last night, I was in Manchester, so I'm already back in London. We did a show called India and Pakistan stand-up comedy show, which was initially called India versus Pakistan. But as some of our listeners would know, that Pakistan-India had a couple of months ago. But the reason of the show is the Indians and Pakistanis, sit together and have a laugh together. So Alhamdulillah, we were able to achieve that yesterday. We had, I think, 95% Pakistanis and 5, but we still managed. So that was the show yesterday. And then we're doing this Arabs and Asian tour, as I mentioned, in September. And 20th of September is when we're bringing the show to Luton, definitely.
That sounds exciting, and I'm sure you're going to stay in touch with us and keep us updated with all the wonderful.
Yeah,
things
I mean, I
doing.
normally promote my shows on my social media. There's a lot of sarcastic posts, this, that, and the other. So there's something for everybody. I try to keep a mix of, obviously, trying to keep it English, but sometimes you got to vent out in Punjabi and Urdu. So trying to find the right balance.
So what do you prefer? Do you prefer to perform it in Urdu, or do you prefer to perform in Punjabi?
No, I prefer to do this in English because it's more universal. Because hello, man's a British passport holder. Nice to meet you. I mean, unless Keir Starmer has other plans. No, I never thought my passport would be revoked, but maybe, you never know. So I prefer to do English, but obviously Urdu and Punjabi is the language I grew up, speaking. So that's also there. But I try to do a mix. So, but the show, which is the Arabs and Asian show, which is in September in Luton, is going to be mainly in English. Yeah.
Where does the inspiration come for your comedy?
I think it comes from day-to-day life. For example, one of my recent posts, which went viral a couple of days ago, as you know, everybody was getting excited over this New York mayor called Zohran Mamdani. Masha, everybody has Zohran Mamdani. So one of my cousins, he rang me. He was emotional. He was crying over the phone. He was like, we did it, Salman. Zohran won. And I was like, Iqbal, you live in Rawalpindi. Your mayor is still Mr. Chowdhury. Calm down, beta. Calm down.
So, I actually saw that and I laughed my head off. I did think that was funny.
So the point is that, things like that, well, big up Zohran, the whole world is after, supporting him. Mm-hmm. Not that, as I said, not because he's Muslim or, he's Indian or he's African. I think people are supporting somebody like him because he stood by his values, and then he still won, so why not?
Indeed. And this is another question I wanted to ask you about your values and comedy, and sometimes being able to be, the censorship, being politically correct. Do you ever feel that you're constrained?
I think if you live in the UK, I think one of the yes, we have freedom of speech, but I think here you can get away by saying loads of things. It really depends who you upset. So yeah. I try to be as neutral as possible, but you get carried away sometimes.
Now, you've mentioned about lots of comedy lineups that are coming to Luton and nationally as well. Do you have like a comedy school? Do you train people in the art of comedy?
Not me. Some English people do. Maybe we should do something, like comedy workshops. That's a good idea, maybe do some comedy workshops with people and maybe bring it to somewhere like the Luton Library Theatre, which is probably, they may have quiet days during the week, I quite like it, when you come out of Luton Library Theatre, that circle, what's that square thing called, it's very clean.
St. George's Square?
It's so clean. It's so, outside the library.
Yes, St. George's Square, yes.
Oh, mashallah, this is so clean, gives you proper European feeling. I mean, hope you can read along the lines. Mashallah, you come out and you see, everything there.
Well, thank you for that. I've never
makes
known
us feel
it.
so safe, they only try to, anyways.
Okay, I'm listening between the lines there. Swiftly moving on. Salman, anything you'd like to share with our listeners? Any other further projects? I know that we've got. We can talk about the picnic again. Please do share and your social media handles.
I just want to say to people, okay, firstly, don't believe anything you read on social media. So if you see a picture there, say Salman Malik donated £1 million to charity, it sounds good, but it could be a lie. So first of all, look out for the sources. If you read the first thing on social media, stop sharing it. But after believing it, just do some research. Allah's given you brains. Secondly, come to our walk if you can. If you don't have kids, then inshallah Allah will give you. Still come anyways if you want to, support Palestine. That's on the 12th of July. 20th of September, we have the comedy show. And yeah, on social media, you can find me on Salman Malik Comedian. I have a verified account. I pay $12.99 for that. But yeah, that's another story. But yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. And what's the rest of your day looking like?
Rest of the day, Punjabi je ਭਾਂਡੇ ਧੋਣੇ ਨੇ, ਕੱਪੜੇ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨੇ ਨੇ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਕੂਲੋਂ ਫੜਨਾ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਸ਼ਾਪਿੰਗ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਬ੍ਰੈਡ ਤੇ ਰੋਟੀ, ਅੰਡੇ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ, ਕੱਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਸੀ, ਕੱਲ ਬਰਥਡੇ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਡੈਕੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਾਣੀ ਹੈ, so that kind of stuff.
Busy as always. It's been an absolute pleasure, Salman. Thank you so much for joining us this
You're
morning.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That is Salman Malik, comedian extraordinaire, and he was talking to us about this wonderful walk for children in Wardown Park for Gaza. So follow all his social media handles. From me, it's the end of the show. And join me same time next week. Assalamu alaikum.